What happens when you transform into someone so powerful that you make the one who rejected you regret every moment? Imagine waking up one day and seeing how that person who once dismissed you now watches your inexplicable transformation with unease and bewilderment. And what if Alaric told you that there's a path to return that rejection in such an elegant way that it will leave them questioning every decision they ever made? I'm not talking about revenge or childish games. I'm talking about a metamorphosis so profound that it will make that person who rejected you lose their peace, regretting every moment they underestimated you. This is not just another motivational video. It's a definitive guide to turning their rejection into your greatest victory as you become the best version of yourself. Get ready to discover how your transformation will make the one who rejected you spend sleepless nights wondering how they could have let you go. The sweet rejection. Rejection, that word that used to make you tremble, will now become your greatest ally. Do you remember those moments when you felt small, insignificant, when that person decided you weren't enough? That pain you felt, those sleepless nights, those tears shed, all that is about to transform into your most powerful fuel. When someone rejects you, it often feels as if they've stolen something valuable from you. Your confidence, your self-esteem, your ability to trust others. You find yourself reviewing every moment, every word, every gesture, looking for answers that often don't exist. You ask yourself, what did I do wrong? Why wasn't I enough? What does that other person have that I don't? These questions are like poison to your mind. But today, you will learn to turn that poison into medicine. The first step to returning the rejection is to understand that it wasn't about you. It was about them. People who reject others frequently do so from their own fears, insecurities, and limitations. When someone rejects you, they are projecting their own emotional barriers, their own walls, their own inability to recognize true value. Imagine for a moment that rejection is like a letter sent to you. A letter full of doubts, fears, superficial judgments. For a long time, you've kept that letter close to your heart, reading it over and over, allowing its words to define you. But today is the day. You will learn to return that letter with elegance, with dignity, with a smile that will disconcert the sender. Transformation begins when you stop seeing rejection as something they did to you and start seeing it as something that freed you. The person who rejected you unknowingly gave you the most valuable gift, the opportunity to rediscover yourself, to reinvent yourself, to be reborn stronger, wiser, more attractive in every sense. The sweet rejection materializes when you start silently thanking those who underestimated you, because thanks to them, you discovered an inner strength you didn't know you had. Thanks to them, you learned to value yourself beyond others' opinions. Thanks to them, you are now on your way to becoming someone they never imagined you could be. The sweetest irony is that when you finally achieve this transformation, when rejection no longer affects you, when your presence radiates an unshakable confidence, they will be the ones questioning their decisions. They will see your evolution from afar, wondering how it's possible that the person they once rejected now shines with their own light, inaccessible, mysterious. We are not talking about revenge. Revenge is for the weak. We are talking about a transformation so profound that your mere presence will be a constant reminder of their error in judgment. Your happiness will be your best answer. Your peace will be your best revenge. Your evolution will be the silent slap that will resonate in their minds for years. The sweet rejection is complete when you understand that whoever rejected you did you a favor. They freed you from a relationship that was not up to your standard. They pushed you towards a path of self-discovery that you might otherwise never have embarked on. They gave you the opportunity to prove, not to them, but to yourself, what material you are truly made of. And so, little by little, day by day, the rejection that once devastated you will become your greatest reason for gratitude. Because thanks to it, you are on your way to becoming someone that no one, not even yourself, imagined you could be. The sweet rejection is not the end of your story. It is merely the exciting beginning. The second principle: silent power. Silence, when used correctly, can be the most powerful weapon in your emotional arsenal. While they expect to see you shattered, begging, sending desperate messages, you will choose the path of strategic silence. This is not a silence born of pain or fear. It is a silence born of inner strength. When someone rejects you, they expect a reaction. They expect your calls, your messages, your desperate attempts to understand why. They expect to see you broken, vulnerable, chasing them. This is where silent power comes into play. Your silence will become an enigma. They cannot solve an unanswered question that will keep them awake at night. Imagine this. Every time you feel the urge to write that message, to make that call, to seek answers, you pause. You breathe deep. You smile, and you remain silent. This silence is not passive. It is an active silence, full of dignity, full of power. It's a silence that screams louder than any words you could say. Silent power manifests when you stop explaining, justifying, trying to understand. You don't need their reasons. You don't need their explanations. You don't need their validation. Your silence becomes a mirror that reflects back their own insecurities, their own fears, their own doubts. On social media, while others post veiled messages, painful phrases, sad songs, you maintain your dignity. No dramatic statuses. No retaliatory posts. No signs that it affected you. Your feed becomes a silent testament to your evolution, to your inner peace, to your ability to move forward without making noise. Silence has a magnetic effect. The less you talk, the more they will talk about you. The less you explain yourself, the more they will try to understand you. The less you seek them, the more they will think about you. It's a universal law that few people understand, and even fewer know how to apply. When you meet that person in public, your silent power will shine even brighter. No need for drama, no need to prove anything. A polite greeting, a serene smile, and you continue your path. This attitude will disconcert them more than any complaint or reproach. Silent power also manifests in how you respond to questions about that person. No victim stories, no complaints, no bitterness in your voice. "I wish them the best" becomes your standard response, a response that will leave them wondering how you managed to overcome everything so elegantly. Your silence becomes your personal brand. People will start to notice your new way of being. More reserved, more mysterious, more confident. This change will attract new people into your life. People who will value your depth, your emotional maturity. And while you maintain this silent power, something magical happens. You start to listen to your own inner voice, the one that was once drowned out by the noise of external validation. You discover that you have more to say to yourself than you ever had to say to the one who rejected you. Silent power reaches its peak when you realize that you no longer need to say anything because your transformation speaks for itself. Your peace is noisy. Your happiness is eloquent. Your evolution is the most powerful speech you could ever give. The third principle: no traces. The complete disappearance of your presence from the life of the one who rejected you will become your most powerful move. We're not talking about blocking numbers or social media accounts dramatically. We're talking about evaporating so elegantly that it will seem you never existed in their world. Think about how smoke vanishes into the air. No noise, no drama. It just stops being there. That's how your exit from that person's life should be. No last conversations. No closing cycles. No clarifying things. The clarity they seek, they will find in your absence. When you erase all traces of your presence, you create a void that no one else can fill. It's not just about deleting photos from social media or erasing conversations. It's about creating a blank space so perfect that it will become a canvas where they will project their regrets. People are used to leaving emotional breadcrumbs. An occasional like, watching stories, casual comments on mutual friends' posts. But you are going to break that pattern. Your absence will be so complete that it will become a constant presence in their thoughts. Eliminating traces also means training your mind not to let memories control you. Every time your mind travels to shared moments, you gently redirect it towards your present, towards your future. You don't fight against memories. You simply let them pass, like clouds in the sky. The places you used to frequent together will no longer be forbidden zones for you. They will be spaces you will reconquer with new memories, new laughter, new experiences. You don't avoid these places. You transform them. You make them yours again, but this time without the shadow of their presence. Conversations with mutual friends will also leave no traces of pain. When they ask about you, the only thing they'll know is that you're fine, that you're moving forward, that you're at peace. No details, no dramatic stories, no signs that that person was ever important in your life. This cleansing also extends to your physical space. No keeping souvenirs, just in case. No holding onto objects that connect you to that past. Every space in your life must breathe novelty. It must speak of the future, not of finished stories. Your time, that precious resource that you used to spend thinking about that person, checking their social media, imagining what would have happened if, is now fully invested in yourself. Every minute you used to dedicate to checking their social media, to thinking about the past, to imagining what would have happened if, is now transformed into quality time with yourself. The magic of leaving no traces is that while you move forward lightly, without the weight of memories, they will carry the weight of your absence. Every space where you used to be, every moment where your presence was constant, now becomes a reminder of what they lost. And so day after day, your absence becomes more noticeable than your presence ever was. Not because you're doing something special, but precisely because you're doing nothing. Your clean, elegant, and total disappearance becomes the most powerful message you could ever send. Eliminating traces is not an act of resentment. It's an act of self-love. It's understanding that your energy, your time, your presence are too valuable to leave them in spaces where they were not valued. It's the conscious decision to create a new path where your story begins from scratch. The fourth principle, inexplicable change. Have you ever seen a butterfly emerge from its chrysalis? No one can explain exactly how that transformation happens. They only see the final result. Your change will be like that. Mysterious, enigmatic, but so real that no one will be able to deny it. This change begins in the simplest things. Your way of walking, of speaking, of laughing. There are no longer traces of that wounded person you once were. Your eyes shine differently. Your smile has a touch of mystery. Your presence has a magnetism that even you cannot explain. The fascinating thing about this change is that it happens without announcements, without social media declarations, without the need to tell the world that you are better than ever. People will simply start to notice. First, there will be small comments. There's something different about you. You look different. What have you been doing? Your way of reacting to situations will be completely new. Where there was drama before, now there is calm. Where there was anxiety before, now there is serenity. People who knew you will not be able to understand how someone who used to be so predictable is now a walking enigma. Conversations with you become different. You no longer speak from pain or lack, but from a fullness they cannot explain. You don't boast about changes. You don't brag about transformations. You are simply different, and that is noticeable in every word, in every gesture. Your priorities change in a way that will disconcert everyone. You are no longer available at all hours. You no longer respond immediately. You no longer put others before yourself. This new order in your life generates curiosity, and in some cases, even discomfort in those who were used to your old way of being. The change is also reflected in your daily decisions. You start new projects, explore new places, surround yourself with different people. It's not a forced or planned change. It flows naturally, as if it had always been this way, and only now others noticed it. Your energy transforms in a way that you cannot even explain. Where there was a need for approval before, now there is a silent security. Where there was fear of rejection before, now there is an elegant indifference to others' opinions. The people who rejected you will start to notice these changes through others. They will hear stories about your transformation. They will see photos where your energy is completely different. They will receive comments about how you have flourished. And the best part is that they will not be able to understand how or why this change happened. This inexplicable change becomes your best revenge, because no one can fight against something they don't understand. They cannot attack your transformation because they don't know where it comes from. They cannot minimize your evolution because it is too evident to deny. Your change becomes more powerful because it has no explanation. There's no course you took. There's no book you read. There's no person who transformed you. You simply decided to be different, and that decision manifested in every aspect of your being. And so, without explanations, without justifications, you become someone you don't even recognize. Sometimes, not because you have lost your essence, but because you have finally found it. Your inexplicable change becomes your personal signature, your distinctive seal, your new way of existing in the world. The fifth principle: provocative peace. The peace that now emanates from you becomes the most intense provocation for the one who hurts you. It's not a pretended peace. It's not a mask. It's a serenity so authentic that it becomes unsettling for those who expected to see you destroyed. Imagine this. You cross paths with the one who rejected you in the street. Instead of the reaction they expected, nervousness, pain, discomfort, you greet them with a tranquility that disconcerts them. Your smile is genuine. Your gaze is clear. Your posture is relaxed. This peace unsettles them more than any complaint or reproach. Your tranquility becomes a mirror that reflects back their own insecurities. While they remain trapped in dramas, complicated relationships, and emotional roller coasters, you demonstrate a stability that seems almost supernatural. You don't boast about it. You don't flaunt it. You simply live it. Social media becomes a silent witness to your peace. You don't need to post motivational quotes or veiled messages. Your photos, your activities, your daily life reflect a person who has found their center. This natural peace becomes more provocative than any attempt to show you're doing better than ever. In social gatherings, your new attitude is unsettling. You're no longer that person who needs to be the center of attention, who seeks constant validation. Now you radiate a peace that naturally attracts others. Your presence is magnetic, precisely because you're not trying to be. The way you handle conflicts changes completely. Where there was drama before, now there are calm solutions. Where there were explosive reactions before, now there are measured responses. This new way of facing problems makes others question their own exaggerated reactions to life. Your peace is reflected in the small things. The way you eat, how you walk, how you listen to others. There's no longer rush, no visible anxiety, no need to fill awkward silences. This peace in the details is more impactful than any grand display. Those who knew you before cannot understand your transformation. Where is that person who broke down at the slightest rejection? They've been replaced by someone who radiates a serenity so natural that it seems almost supernatural. When others try to provoke or destabilize you, your serenity becomes your best defense. You don't need to respond to provocations. Your inner peace is a more powerful response than any words. This provocative peace also manifests in how you handle your new relationships. There's no desperate attachment, no fear of abandonment. Your ability to be at peace with yourself naturally attracts people who vibrate on the same frequency. And this is intriguing to the one who rejected you. Your free time is no longer consumed by drama or worries. They see you enjoying simple activities, smiling for no apparent reason, living each moment fully. This ability to enjoy life without complications becomes provocative for those who live in constant conflict. Rumors about your transformation begin to circulate. How can he be so calm after all that? He seems like a different person. There's something different about his energy. Your peace becomes the topic of conversation, the mystery no one can solve. And so your serenity becomes your most powerful weapon. Not because you seek revenge, but because your genuine peace is a constant reminder of what they lost. Your tranquility is the most elegant provocation, the clearest message that you not only survived rejection, but flourished because of it. The sixth principle, magnetic absence. Have you noticed how some perfumes are more intense when they're gone than when they're present? Your absence will work exactly like that. It will be more powerful than your presence ever was, and it will become a magnetic void that attracts thoughts, doubts, and regrets. When you completely withdraw, without drama or announcements, you create a space that no one else can fill. It's not just a physical absence. It's the absence of your energy, your laughter, your unique way of seeing the world. This void becomes more noticeable with each passing day. The places you used to share now have a different echo. Every time that person visits those places, your absence screams louder than any words you could say. Memories become more vivid, precisely because you are no longer there to update them. Conversations with mutual friends become different. Your name is not mentioned, but your absence is the elephant in the room. When they ask about you, the answers are vague, because no one knows exactly what you're doing, and that makes you more interesting. On social media, your absence is strategic. You don't block, you don't delete. You simply stop being present. Your posts are scarce but meaningful, showing a life that continues and flourishes without constant validation. Social events where you used to meet now have a different flavor. Your absence creates a subtle tension, an empty space that makes what you contributed to each situation more evident. Not being there becomes a more powerful way of being there. Special dates, those that you used to share, are now days where your absence is felt most strongly. No messages, no forced congratulations, no attempts to maintain a connection that no longer exists. This silence speaks louder than any words. Your absence in their daily life becomes more noticeable in the small moments. When something funny happens and you're no longer there to share it. When they need advice, and remember, they can no longer turn to you. When they achieve something and realize you are no longer part of their celebrations. New projects and achievements in your life become known through third parties. Your success, your growth, your evolution reach their ears as distant echoes, making you seem more unreachable with each new story they hear about you. Your magnetic absence also reflects in how you handle casual encounters. No nervousness, no attempts to get attention. There is an elegant indifference that is more attractive than any effort to impress. The power of your absence multiplies because it is not a strategy, it is a natural consequence of your personal growth. You are not absent to provoke a reaction. You are absent because you have found a better, more meaningful path. New people in your life, new experiences, new achievements. All this becomes more intriguing, precisely because you don't share the details. your life becomes a mystery that increases your attractiveness without you having to do anything special. And so your absence becomes a more powerful presence than any attempt to remain in their life. It is not an absence born of resentment or pain. It is an absence born of your evolution, your growth, your decision to move towards something better. The seventh principle: total indifference. True indifference is not pretending that you don't care. It's reaching the point where you are genuinely unaffected. It's not a pose. It's not a mask. It's a state of emotional freedom so profound that it becomes disconcerting for the one who hurts you. This indifference manifests in the small things. You no longer react when you hear their name. You don't change your route to avoid them. You are not affected by seeing them with someone else. Your heart maintains the same rhythm. Your breathing remains calm. Your mind stays at peace. The fascinating thing about total indifference is that you don't need to strive to maintain it. It's not like in the beginning, when you pretended not to care while you were falling apart inside. Now, their actions have as much effect on you as news from a distant country. When asked about that person, your response is natural and detached. There's no trace of bitterness in your voice. There's no tension in your face. You talk about them as you would talk about a distant acquaintance, without special emotion, without a dramatic story to tell. News about their life no longer provokes any reaction in you. They're in a new relationship? Good for them. They're doing great at work? I'm glad. They're going through a bad time? I hope they get through it. All this said, with the same emotion you would comment on the weather. Your indifference is reflected in how you handle casual encounters. No need to mentally prepare. No pre-anxiety. No rehearsals of what you'll say or do. If it happens, it happens. If not, it doesn't matter. Your inner peace remains intact in any scenario. Old photos, shared memories, places you frequented, all that loses its emotional power over you. You don't need to delete photos or avoid places. They are simply part of your past, like so many other experiences you've lived. This total indifference also manifests in your new relationships. You no longer compare people to the one who rejected you. You don't seek to replace them. You don't try to recreate what you had. Each new connection is unique, free from the weight of comparisons. The most powerful thing about your indifference is that it is completely authentic. You're not trying to prove anything. You're not trying to send a message. You've simply reached a point where that person no longer occupies emotional space in your life. Your energy is no longer wasted on thinking about them, analyzing the past, imagining scenarios. That energy is now invested completely in you, in your growth, in your dreams, in the people who truly value your presence. Total indifference allows you to be genuinely kind to them without hidden agendas. No need to be rude or show resentment. Your casual kindness is more disconcerting than any show of hostility. And so your indifference becomes your natural state. It's not a strategy. It's not revenge. It's simply the result of having completely healed. Your total indifference is the clearest testament that you have overcome not only rejection, but also the need for their approval. The eighth principle: mental control. When we talk about mental control, we're not referring to manipulation techniques. We're talking about having absolute mastery over your own thoughts and emotions. It's the art of keeping your mind focused on your growth, while others expect to see you drowning in misery. This control manifests first in how you manage memories. You no longer allow your mind to wander into the past without your permission. When thoughts about shared moments arise, you observe them with detachment, like one watching clouds pass in the sky, without getting emotionally entangled. The questions that used to torment you: why did she reject me? What did I do wrong? Who are they with now? Lose their power over you. Your mind no longer wastes energy on seeking answers you don't need. You've learned to redirect those thoughts towards more productive questions about your own growth. Your mental control is evident in how you handle news about that person. There's no impulse to stalk their social media. No need to know what they're doing, who they're with. Your mind remains focused on your own path, without straying into dead ends that lead nowhere. Conversations about past relationships no longer trigger a cascade of negative emotions. You can talk about the topic with clarity and objectivity, without your voice trembling or your heart racing. Your mind maintains control over your physical and emotional reactions. This mental mastery also reflects in how you handle shared dreams and goals. You no longer see those plans as losses, but as opportunities to redesign your future on your own terms. Your mind creates new objectives without the shadow of the past. The control over your thoughts allows you to be present in social situations without being distracted by what others might say or think. Your mind remains focused on the present moment, genuinely enjoying new connections and experiences. Significant dates, anniversaries, birthdays are no longer emotional triggers. Your mind registers them as normal days without giving them the power to alter your inner peace. You've learned to create new meanings for those dates. This mental control allows you to remain calm when others try to provoke you with comments about the past. Your mind doesn't react. It doesn't defend itself. It doesn't justify. You remain centered in your truth without needing to convince anyone. The most powerful thing about this control is that it allows you to be genuinely happy for others, even for the one who rejected you. There's no hidden resentment, no desires for revenge. Your mind has learned to wish good without conditions. Your mental mastery becomes your silent superpower. You don't need to boast about it or demonstrate it. It reflects naturally in your way of being, in your inner peace, in your ability to maintain serenity in any situation. And so mental control becomes your new normal. It's not a constant struggle. It's not repression of emotions. It's the ability to consciously choose where you place your attention and mental energy. The ninth principle: disconcerting presence. The greatest power you can have is the effect your mere presence causes in others. It's not what you say. It's not what you do. It's simply how you present yourself to the world after your transformation. Your new way of existing becomes unsettling for the one who underestimated you. This presence manifests in the way you occupy spaces. You no longer enter places seeking approval or trying to go unnoticed. There's something in your way of moving, in your posture, in your gaze, that conveys a security that is magnetic and, at the same time, disturbing. Those who knew you before cannot help but notice the change. It's not something they can specifically point to. It's a different energy that emanates from you. Your presence no longer screams, "Look at me," or "Accept me." Now it whispers, "I am complete." And that is more impactful than any show of strength. In social gatherings, your presence generates a curious effect. Without trying, you become the center of attention, not because you seek it, but because there's something in your way of being that attracts glances, that generates curiosity. Your calmness becomes more intriguing than any attempt to draw attention. Your way of interacting with others changes completely. There's no longer a need to fill awkward silences, to be liked at all costs, to justify your existence. Your presence is enough, and that sufficiency becomes unsettling. For those who are used to seeing you seek validation. The way you handle encounters with the one who rejected you becomes disconcerting. No nervousness, no attempts to impress, no signs that their presence affects you. This neutrality becomes more disturbing than any display of emotion. Your presence on social media also changes. You no longer need to post constantly to prove you're doing well. Your appearances are scarce but meaningful, and each of them generates more impact than 100 previous posts. People start to notice how others react to you. There's something in your presence that makes people listen when you speak, that makes them look at you when you enter a place, that makes them attracted to your energy without understanding exactly why. This disconcerting presence also reflects in how you handle conflicts. You no longer react from drama or the need to defend yourself. Your serenity in the face of provocations becomes more intimidating than any aggressive response. Your way of being in the world becomes a constant reminder of their mistake in rejecting you, not because you try to prove it, but because your presence conveys a peace and security that makes others question their past decisions. This new presence of yours generates a domino effect in your relationships. You naturally attract people who vibrate on your same frequency, while those who seek drama or toxicity naturally move away from you. And so your presence becomes your most powerful message. You don't need words. You don't need specific actions. Your way of existing in the world is enough to cause a deep impact on those who once underestimated you. The 10th principle: disconcerting serenity. Your new serenity becomes something that disconcerts those who expected to see you destroyed. It's not a superficial or feigned calm. It's a peace so profound that it becomes unsettling for those who try to destabilize you. Do you know what's most disturbing for someone who tried to hurt you? Seeing you smile genuinely, without a trace of bitterness. Seeing that your happiness no longer depends on their presence or absence. This authentic serenity becomes a mirror that reflects back their own insecurities. The most disconcerting thing is how you handle situations that would have previously devastated you. Seeing them with another person, you smile and go on your way. Encountering them at a gathering, you greet them naturally and continue enjoying your evening. This serenity in situations that should affect you leaves them speechless. Your way of speaking changes completely. There's no longer urgency in your words. No need to justify yourself or explain. You speak from a place of peace that makes others question their own exaggerated reactions to life. Problems that used to keep you awake at night, you now handle with disconcerting tranquility. It's not that you don't care. It's that you've learned to navigate storms without losing your center. This ability to remain calm in the midst of chaos is magnetic. Your serenity is reflected in the small details. The way you eat, how you walk, how you listen to others. There's no longer a trace of that anxiety that used to characterize you. This peace in the mundane is more impactful than any grand display. People who knew you in your most vulnerable moment now cannot understand your transformation. Where is that person who broke down at the slightest rejection? They've been replaced by someone who radiates a serenity so natural that it seems almost supernatural. When others try to provoke or destabilize you, your serenity becomes your best defense. You don't need to respond to provocations. Your inner peace is a more powerful response than any words. This disconcerting serenity also manifests in how you handle your new relationships. There's no desperate attachment, no fear of abandonment. Your ability to be at peace with yourself naturally attracts people who vibrate on the same frequency. Those who tried to hurt you now find themselves confused. They expected to see you suffering, seeking revenge, desperately trying to get over them. Instead, they find someone who has found a peace that they themselves secretly crave. Your serenity becomes your most attractive quality, not because you seek it, but because it is the natural result of your inner growth. This authentic peace generates more curiosity than any attempt to attract attention. And so your disconcerting serenity becomes your greatest power not because you seek to disturb anyone, but because your genuine inner peace is a constant reminder that you not only survived rejection, but flourished because of it. The 11th principle: invisible strength. There exists a type of strength that doesn't need to be shown to be felt. It's not something you can see directly, but everyone can perceive its effects. Like gravity, invisible but undeniably powerful. Such will be your new inner strength. This strength manifests first in your gaze. There is no longer supplication in your eyes, no search for approval. There's a quiet security that makes others look away first. It's not aggression, it's not defiance. It's pure inner confidence. Your decisions now reflect this invisible strength. You no longer remain in situations that don't serve you. You don't accept less than you deserve. You don't settle for emotional breadcrumbs. This firmness in your boundaries becomes disconcerting for those who were used to seeing you yield. The way you handle rejection changes completely. There are no longer pleas, no attempts to convince anyone of your worth. Your strength manifests in the ability to walk away with dignity, without drama or explanations. This invisible strength is also noticeable in how you respond to provocations. You no longer react from pain or insecurity. Your calmness in the face of attempts to destabilize you conveys a clear message. You no longer have power over me. In new relationships, your strength manifests in the ability to be vulnerable without losing your center. You are not afraid to show your feelings because you know that your worth does not depend on the other's response. Those who tried to manipulate you in the past now encounter an invisible yet impenetrable barrier. It's not hostility. It's the quiet strength of someone who knows their worth and doesn't need to prove it. Your strength is reflected in the way you talk about your past. There's no bitterness, no resentment. There's a mature understanding that every rejection led you to develop this inner fortitude. Situations that would have once devastated you, you now handle with a grace that surprises everyone. It's not that you don't feel, it's that your inner strength allows you to process emotions without losing your balance. This invisible strength also manifests in your ability to be alone. You no longer fear solitude. You no longer flee from silence. Your own company has become your safest refuge. Those who knew you in your most vulnerable moment now perceive something different in you. They cannot pinpoint exactly what has changed, but they feel a strength that makes them rethink how they treat you. Thus, your invisible strength becomes your most distinctive characteristic. You don't need to boast about it or demonstrate it. It manifests naturally in every aspect of your being, silently reminding everyone that your transformation is complete and irreversible. If you've made it this far, it tells Alaric that you are not just interested in overcoming pain, but eager to become the strongest, most authentic version of yourself. The principles you've explored From the power of silence to disconcerting serenity and invisible strength are not just hacks to make others regret. They are the foundation of a life built on self-mastery, inner peace, and unshakable self-respect. You were not born to live in scarcity, with the fear of rejection, or with the need for external validation. You were born to be free, to be powerful, to be the master of your own destiny. And when you apply this Stoic wisdom, when you turn rejection into a catalyst for greatness, you will not only change how others perceive you, but also how you perceive yourself. I'm Alaric, and if you're ready to turn your life into a living testament to the power of the Stoic spirit, comment a word that resonated in your heart. Perhaps transformation, unstoppable, serenity, or freedom. Let Alaric know exactly which Stoic soul warriors made it to the end of this video. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss future videos where we'll continue to explore timeless teachings to elevate your life. Furthermore, share this video with someone who might need to hear this message today. Perhaps they are struggling with rejection and need a spark of hope, a path to return stronger. Help them find the power within themselves. See you in the next video. Take care of yourself and keep embracing your inner Stoic.